budget is like a diet. Everyone knows we should be on one and nobody wants to do it. You jump on one and you quit within a month because it's all about saying no, right? But I want to propose a reframe. There's a way to do a budget that is a complete 180, right? It turns it on its head. And that's kind of what I want for you. Because look, if the goal is to avoid the income cliff, right? At some point the income stops, but the lifestyle has to go on, then we have to build assets. We have to own things, not just earn. And to own things, well, it costs some money. So we got to budget what we earn now to put aside to owning. Most people think of budgeting as a series of no, you can't, stop doing that, don't eat out, don't do, all these things. It's always no, stop here. But in reality, it's freedom. It unlocks freedom. And that's what I love about, a true budget and moving ahead. It's also kind of like exercise. Look, everyone knows we should exercise, right? For me, I like cardio and I go to the gym and I lift weights, but cardio is what I love. But if I had to sit on run on a treadmill for 2 hours, there's no way I wouldn't do it. It's boring, it's stupid, it's dumb. I don't like it. I don't like treadmills. I just think it's boring. But I'm into cycling. Everyone has a hobby. Again, if you find your thing, right? Hopefully you love it. And so like every Saturday morning we go, 40 miles or so with a group ride, and it's awesome. I burn about 1,800 calories. My legs are burning by the end, which is great. I love it. And it's awesome, and I look forward to it, and it's the highlight of the week. It's the same sort of exercise as a treadmill, but two very, very different experiences. They just are. So a budget is the same thing. Instead of a series of no's, you can't do this, you can't do that, what if it's just tracking toward your true progress, your true goals? And what if you keep a scorecard, right? You keep score in a very simple way, because the simple things get done, I find. The more complicated it is, it just never gets done. But the simple things do. And so what if it's just a simple way to track accomplishing those goals? Owning this, saving that, investing over here, getting some cash flow going. And it feels great. Once you start getting a couple little pieces of cash flow going that are kind of passive. I know passive income is the dream of the internet and YouTube, right? And I don't mean totally passive, because a lot of things aren't totally passive, but they can create income without you actually doing anything at that moment. What goes into it? It's really simple. Number one, what do you bring in every week, every month, and what you spend on your lifestyle. This is something worth doing. If you haven't whittled down what is actually necessary every month for your lifestyle, that's an important number to get to, and it doesn't take much time to do. Actually, we redid ours one evening just before, heading out to, have a cigar in the front porch actually. But it didn't take long, and it was a good exercise, and now we know this is how much we need just to meet the daily requirements. Put groceries in the fridge and pay the bills, the utilities stay on, the mortgage gets paid, and then what you want to budget for your lifestyle beyond that, right? How many times you want to eat out, you want to save for this trip, whatever. And then what you put toward assets. And I'm telling you, if you reframe it like this, what you put toward assets really becomes the exciting number and becomes the fun in the budget, because you're all of a sudden making progress toward owning stuff instead of just earning. And that owning produces its own cash flow little by little, and that snowballs, and it becomes pretty exciting. It really does. The other thing that happens is you can then, as you create ownership in different entities, whether it be a rental property or a small business or whatever it is, right? As you're making progress, that money then does other stuff as well, because your earned income is enough to support the lifestyle, and therefore everything earned from these investments, from owning stuff, owning assets, can go toward buying other assets. And that's the exciting part. That's where it starts snowballing and getting really fun. And what happens a lot of times, I have found in being a lender, a mortgage lender, that's what I do. I look at people's credit reports all the time, their income, their debt to income ratio, etc. What I find a lot of times, if people start doing this and they start buying investment properties or buying whatever assets it may be, asset class you want, is they also start cutting down that lifestyle just a little bit. Not the really fun stuff, but some of the stuff that they're like, I don't really need that because I'm having more fun just growing the asset side of life, right? The ownership side of life. And that's fun too. You always want to leave in the budget, by the way, so that it doesn't look like a restrictive diet that's just something you're not going to continue. You always want to leave some amount of fun because you work hard for your money. So you want that. It's kind of like at the end of a 40-mile bike ride, a lot of times we'll go in and have a sweet roll or a cookie and a cup of coffee and hang out together and stuff like this because we just burned 1,800 calories. So we can afford it. So you might as well enjoy it as well. And so you work hard for your money, enjoy it, but enjoy it in ways that always allow for investing as well. And as you make progress in investing, it gets addictive. It's like riding a bike. It's just fun. Pretty soon you'll be going up 40 miles is okay, but what about that century ride? But I could do that. And it's fun. When you do your first century, it's fun. When you accomplish a goal like 10,000 in other non-earned income per month, that's addictive in itself too, and you can get there. So if you like this, subscribe please to the channel, but also subscribe to the newsletter Asset Accelerator. The link is down below. I think you'll like the weekly newsletter that I send as well. And if you have any comments on this, put them down below.